Hi, chat. Needed that. How we doing today, chat? Happy Friday to you all. Beginning of the weekend. Hopefully it's been a good week. Gonna be doing pork pies tonight, along with peas and a side salad, since I had the salad stuff. What is porcini? It's a type of mushroom. What are cognac? Well, we're doing a ground pork porcini vegetable, namely onion, and cognac pie. They're going to be smaller individual pies, but they're going to be like a meal pie. You know, like sort of UK style. But most ones that I see UK style are a little more wider and flatter. We're going to go taller. And what is cognac? Maybe you have seen this instead. Cognac. Hello, JK. Cut off on me. Battery's low. Oh, it's cutting off on me again. I'm gonna guess. Recharging those batteries. Let's get some sugar. Because it adds nice flavor. We're cooking it. It's not like it's going to be, you get drunk off of this. But the other reason is I have to rehydrate the porcinis. I'm using dried porcini mushrooms. And why do water when you can add flavor? People have been doing this for centuries. This is not rocket science. You do know that just the caramelization of sugar creates so many different compounds. We haven't even figured them all out. There's a certain level of, you just have to trust it. Appreciate all of you joining me tonight. Cheers. So we'll start off with our mushrooms. These are all going to get chopped up finer, but I think Gen Z might be confused about alcohol. Like, I know most of them Zoomers don't drink, but I don't think many of them even realize that, 100 years ago, alcohol was safer than your local sources of water in many cases. And we'll just leave that on there, I guess. So we got our porcinis with some of that Hennessy in there to help rehydrate them. We'll let them hang out over there. Let me quick check something back here, chat. See how Sprinklebot is dealing with things tonight. Huh. I guess captions aren't working. Thought they were. Something's messing up in real time. Yay! I gotta reduce the time on that. That's too far into stream. Okay, what else do we have to do for this? We have to make dough for our pie dough. Let's start by making some pie dough here. So we need some flour, some butter, salt, sugar, water, all that good stuff. Putting pepper in my pie dough since we're doing a savory pie. Do we want to add some herbage into this? Dried thyme. freeze-dried parsley. Cold water, sugar, even though it's savory pie. This all released off of the sides. I hate autoplay videos with a vengeance, unless it's a site entirely about the video, like mine. I say that because I load websites while I'm streaming, and it's like, I don't want to waste my bandwidth on this. Why are you sending this to me? Go away. Quiet night tonight. Where is everyone? Where did I hide you? No, I don't normally put you over there. Alright, so our pie dough is set like that. I'm going to let that chill once again before I try and roll that. Not a perfect wrap job, but enough that'll keep the vast majority of the air from actually hitting it. Just want it cold. Don't want it dried out anymore. Just sort of. I think we can work with it. It's almost frozen. Almost not frozen. There's the onion in here. Yep. I'm gonna grate an onion next. Let's make sure we're working with a nice clean board here. Two points. And then this is the package of sort of mixed plain pork, partially the Italian sausage pork. So it's going to have some light spice in there beyond just straight pork. Ugh, dad joke. Ad break. I'm gonna chop these up. See you when you get back. I should turn that off now. I don't need that on my Twitch stream manager anymore. Go away, ads panel. You're automatic now. I don't have to worry about you anymore. Got another 40 seconds in the ad or so here. Alright, we're going to take breadcrumbs and add them to the leftover cognac that didn't get used up in the mushrooms. Let those soak for a little bit. So we got onions, the mushrooms I chopped up during the ad break, and the pork. Let's do a little garlic maybe? Do I have any decent garlic still in the house? All my garlic's old right now. We've got new garlic available and I'm still using old garlic. Nope, that one's done for. You're soft. You're sprouting. You're sprouting too, but we'll keep you. Hi, Alex. We got our pie dough started. I have hydrated porcinis in cognac, and whatever cognac left is now hydrating breadcrumbs. We got shredded red onion. We got ground pork. This is all going to go into, I'm planning 2 pies maybe. I'm thinking 2 pies. Do some peas on the side and side salad. And side salad's not going to be too exciting. I'm just going to use my Roquefort blue cheese dressing with whatever veggies and stuff I can find, along with the arugula and iceberg in the fridge. I actually think that's probably enough for this. Got a little happy with the garlic there. You don't need it to be that powerful in this. We can use some of it with the peas. Garlicky, buttery peas. It's now hydrated. That was liquid. What do I want to use for these? To mix this all together. Pork meat is semi-defrosted. I'm going to add a bit of oil to this because this pork is so lean. Bacon fat would be a good plan too. Salt. Pepper. Dried thyme. Dope. I forgot about that. Oh well. Oh, we can add those in there. Those will be good in there with that. I'm looking recipes because I was trying to ballpark my time in cooking this. This may take a while. Yeah. Okay, so we got that going. We got that set. Let's go back to pastry. And what I'm trying to do here is fold the butter into layers without melting too much of it. It's sticking a bit more than I would like, but we're not doing too bad. One more set of folds and we should be looking pretty good. I'm going to give this a little bit longer in the fridge. We have to wait for the oven to heat up for it anyways. There we go. Now we're working a bit more like a dough that's sticking together. I used quite a bit of butter in this crust. Bacon fat might have been an okay call with this too. Or at least lard. We're going to switch to a plate now. Yeah, it's a little early to get going with that. We can start preheating our oven though. Preheating oven 350. What's everyone's choice on cognac? For those of you who may not appreciate cognac. I am in no way a cognac knowledgeable person. I actually bought that to be like, what the heck does Hennessy actually taste like? I mean, I know it's cheaper to just buy a shot at the bar, but then there's the whole, you're buying Hennessy? Maybe we have some Courvoisier fans in chat instead. Or there's maybe some other label that I'm not thinking off the top of my head. Now let's go and get a couple of holders for these pies. Once I figure out where they are. There's one. One half of one. And let's just pull the whole thing down. Don't even know why half of the stuff that's in here is in here, but I ain't figuring it out tonight. I've got the little like plastic lid that no one ever uses for the top of the Vitamix. You have this piece, and then you have the lid. And then they had this giant plastic thing that goes on the top of that thing that no one ever puts that back on. Go ahead and rub everything down with some butter. Do want to make sure and get the edges here. I see you flickering. We don't want that. No flicker. Bad camera. I know you're like 5-6 years old. But no flicker. Okay? Flour. I need a bit more flour, even though I just threw it back up here. And so I'm using the flour and the butter to essentially seal these. So what's happening, chat? What's exciting with everyone's weekend, or is everyone taking it easy after the big weekend last weekend? Ooh. It's Blueberry Muffin Day. Blueberry would have been nice maybe with a little bit of this pork. That would have been an interesting combo. Hey, Tannic. Here's the question, chat. Well, I think we probably got enough meat as it is. Those are going to fill up pretty nicely, I think. Huh. I don't know, chat. I don't think I'm going to do it. I was going to ask if I should add some carrot into this. I'm going to add a bit more breadcrumb to soak up a bit of the juices. Yeah, it's a tough... I don't like the word chat really either, but a lot of the other terms are sort of like... eh. Hey guys. That it's sort of... I mean, you can debate whether guys includes everyone or not. There's not a lot of easy ways to address all you lovely people in the chat room. I tried to do folks a lot, but that just makes me sound even older. I can see that one being irritating too. I can also see it being in something that I probably use as, let me say this while I'm thinking about what I'm actually saying, so it's sort of like a filler instead of which I also try to avoid these days, but I'm just sort of chilling, giving that dough another couple of minutes to rest. We need a better word for it. I mean... I'm not a big enough name to create new words. We need like XQC or someone out there coming out with a proper term to address their audience. Tannic, are you really delayed from... You might be really delayed. I'm worried how much moisture these are going to allow out during cooking. That wasn't too far off. I don't know how you're viewing the stream, if you're on if you're on your phone, if you're on a computer, if you're on a TV. If you're on a computer and you have Franker Faces, which is a extension you can put onto your browser, which allows you to heavily customize the Twitch window. Allows you to do all sorts of funky things with chat, adds all sorts of emotes, that sort of stuff. That actually also adds a nice little info bar down below you that shows you your delay, your latency of the video. Plastic's still steamy, which means it's not really cooled down, but we're gonna go with it anyways. Keep putting the flour away tonight. I used to get after myself for that. Alright, we need 2 pies and 2 lids. Ah, almost got it. Almost slipped for me. Well, I would think military time 2:34. That's just 24 hours, so it's 2 in the morning for you, wherever you are. Good times. So there's our first lid. And our second lid. And I'm going considerably thinner for the walls than the roof. Yeah, stay. Yeah, you have to subtract 12. Yeah, it's always fun when you're trying to convert to, like, the raid train I just signed up for is they're doing that in 24-hour UTC time, and so it's not only convert that, but convert to local. Almost there with our outer wrappers. Who is the commentary? Huh? Why are you not following me? You're supposed to keep following me. Oh, hey. I didn't realize you weren't seeing the overlook view, so you couldn't see what was going on with the dough. My bad. Who responded to your things? Just me here. Just me and the bot. Nope, we need more. I need more. It needs to be thinner. Working on it. Multiple ways, actually. mean, that's the whole basis behind me recording all of this. I mean, the streaming's fun, but recording all of it so that I can have it down the line. Hey, analyze all of the stuff that I did and pick out the good stuff. Now, I had a couple holes I saw around here. There's one. Little hole in the corner there. I'm just going to patch that with a bit more dough. And then the bottom's pretty thin, so I'm going to put a patch across the bottom here. Just sort of push that in a bit. Make sure we're all nice and sealed. The top is nice and somewhat curled up, so we're going to get a nice seal with the lid. We're going to roll it out a bit. There. And we fill it up. Let's do the other one first before we deal with meat. Breakage. Hi, Cosmic. And then, once again, gonna reinforce the bottom a little bit. Oh, we got a little hole here I'm missing. Good, I'm still fussing. Might have missed that little guy there. Okay, so now we can fill our pork pies. We have a mixture of shredded onion, rehydrated dried porcini, cognac, breadcrumbs, and light seasoning. I added some extra oil to this since the pork is pretty lean. Hi, Lotus Wings. That reminds me, I haven't paid attention to YouTube chat much tonight, unfortunately. Come on. There we go. Oh, it looks like I didn't miss much, maybe. Let's see. Nope, doesn't look like I missed much in YouTube chat tonight. It's all connected properly tonight for the first time in a while. I made sure YouTube connected. I had to refresh all my tokens today. Thank you. I don't know if they're more UK style or Australian style, with them being like a little bit taller. What's in the dough? We have dried thyme and freeze-dried parsley. Meat mixture is all seasoned. That actually worked out pretty well. This is slightly larger than the other, but and then over the top, roll and pinch with the dough that's sticking up around the side. I also added a fair amount of black pepper into the dough, and while there's sugar in it, I went lighter on the sugar. Alright, there we go. There's our first pie. It's probably going to leak out there. Not a whole lot that I can do to prevent that. At this point. If I was more careful earlier, didn't have the crack in it to begin with. Right now I'm trying to get the dough off of the actual rim of the container. Alright, there we go. There is pie number 2. Good size on the batch of dough. See all you lovely folks when you come back from an ad. By the way, chat, when you do the alerts for resubs, it gives everyone sprinkles. I didn't think it's saying it in chat, but I've set up just about everything, whether it's subscriptions, following on YouTube, or subscribing on YouTube, which is like following on Twitch. Following on Twitch, although only the first time, so don't try and cycle it and play the game. Bits, donations, all that sort of stuff. I think even joining the Discord will give bits to everyone that's hanging out. Thank you so much for that resub, JK. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you, T. Welcome. Get all that flour off the counter here, and we'll get these things baking. These things are going to need a while in the oven, chat. There's definitely going to be a bit of an AFK tonight. Thank you so much for that resub, T. And no eggs in the house tonight. I would normally do an egg wash on these, but we're just going to do dairy tonight. Let's use the smaller one. It's better for these little pies. And since these are going to be in the oven for a bit, the dairy and the moisture will help because the pastry is going to be on the darker side in order to get these cooked through entirely. I'm starting the outside on this one. That was the way I should have done it. That way we get any leakages, means a little bit less in the puddle area. And some of the roughness from the brush does come through when you're baking it. But I actually sort of like that sort of look to it. I think it actually makes the crust look a little more flaky. Give me a sec to read that. Let me finish this first. Cooking win, yay! Typically cook sirloin steak that I'm used to cook rump. When younger, they're obvious. Nice! It can be tricky getting to know meat temps. And did you use a instant read thermometer, or did you go off a feel? I have appreciation for both. Nice. Okay, so these are going into the oven. These are going to be at least 45 minutes, probably longer. We're at 350, and I will be using a thermometer on these because I don't know how long these are going to take. And I do want to make sure the pork cooks through. Absolutely, Chicken Song. Like, yeah. And frankly, that's most of it. Like, there isn't some, like, most of these people portioning steaks and stuff like that for restaurants and stuff like that, they're handling these big expensive cuts. They're not, masters really. I mean, they may have a little practice of what they're doing, but it's mostly just having the ability to, okay, let's do that with my job at question, Have the chutzpah. The balls. We'll do a little prep here on our peas, and then going to take a bit of a break as this cooks, because it's going to take a minute. After the break, we'll come back, we'll prep up our salad, we'll put our peas together, and wait for the pies. Not just seasoning it long. If you're using a big cut or something like that, like taking it out and having it room temp for a while is crucial. If you're doing something thin, you're going straight from the refrigerator to the hot pan, it's okay because it's going to cook the center quick enough. But if you're doing something big, you don't want that temp. You want it to be even like an hour or two out at the counter. 3, if it's a really big cut, pushing your safety limit at 4, just so that everything is an even temp before you throw it in the oven. I think that's good for that. And this one, this garlic, it's all sprouted out. Good coffee tonight. These give sprinkles. What are we putting with our peas tonight? I think we're just going to go pretty simply. Just garlic, butter, peas. Do we have any mint? I don't think I have any mint. Is that still usable? Nope. Is that still usable? Nope. So yeah, we're going simple with the peas. What herbs should I put on there? Since I don't have mint, I do have thyme. I have dried oregano. I've got freeze-dried cilantro. I've got freeze-dried parsley. I've got freeze-dried dill. Could also do a dry brine on a big cut like that too, which works great for that too. Is you season it all up, you sit it in the fridge, open air overnight, and then you pull it out, and you can let it come up to room temp, like I was saying before. If you're doing sirloin steak and rump, that's especially something you should be living off of marinades, and let's break this down some. You should be studying koji even if you've got the space and time for it. You can buy koji being a fermented rice product from Japan. You can grind it up, add your other flavorings as far as seasonings, and rub that on the outside of that meat and allow that to dry out with the meat. And it'll help break down the fibers of the beef. This isn't so much dry aging it in that sense, but yes, yeah, I can get that. I'm not a gigantic fan of. I like a well-aged steak as far as time, because there is a certain breakdown and looseness to the meat as it gets older. But as far as aging it for that funk, that fermented note to meat, I'm not a huge fan of that myself, yeah. I much rather go to a really nice steakhouse and have them make just a straight up really nice steak that they've aged nicely, rather than our 45-day aged, we have a special refrigerator with windows on it for you. Thinking of a place I ate when I was in San Diego. What's the difference? There's not a huge difference. I'm talking about aging beef, but not... Basically, I'm saying more like 25 days for me before you start getting into the funky stuff. Or what's commonly known as wet aged is great too, because you don't get all of that funk, but you do get the age on it. And that just basically means that it's been sitting in a cryovac bag for that same amount of time, so it hasn't had open air to it to develop anything. But Koji that's separate from, like, you have wet aging, you have aging, you have dry aging or aging for longer amounts where you start getting into, this starts getting a little funky, we're going to cut off the sides and edges of it. But it's still, like, it's been so long since I've been to the Santa Rosa Whole Foods. They used to have a giant, like, dry aging space there. There's a giant Whole Foods in Santa Rosa, one of the malls in Santa Rosa. And it's not the biggest. I've been to the gigantic LA Whole Foods back in the day. I don't know if that even still exists anymore, but I'd be curious if they still bother with that there. Like, Amazon has cut back so much on what Whole Foods does. It's not gigantic like it's a, well, put it this way, for a supermarket it was gigantic. For, I mean, you have things like Italy and stuff like that that are just put that to shame too. But to put that in perspective, it was a supermarket, but they had a bar that you could sit down and drink at. They had a sushi bar that you could sit down and eat at. They had 2 or 3 other restaurants. There was at least four full-fledged, like, sit-down. Not huge, you know, like, probably only had seating for maybe 20. But, like, full-fledged restaurants. And that was sort of the initial inspiration for my business, realizing that, oh, hey, here's Whole Foods doing a gazillion products based off of their fresh produce so that they can save that much more money off of it. Why is no one doing this for the farmers markets? Didn't quite work out, but that was the idea. Okay, so we got this baking. Let's set a timer for this. I didn't set a timer earlier. Let's set a 35-minute timer. And I'm gonna do an AFK. I'm gonna play the demo guy tonight rather than ads. So 10-11 minute break here. See all your lovely faces when we get back. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, 1 piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, Now, this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's 2 curls out of the 1 potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the 2 colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat 'em. Now, the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in 2. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now, the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this. Drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast. Why, they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the champeen vegetable mincing knife and noodle cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here's a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just hit it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife, so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven, get a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable, twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness, every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick, drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it, makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating...
Welcome back, chat. We still got a while to go on our pot pies. Just got at least 20 minutes on those. So let's get going with our salad. I didn't realize the scramble wasn't running all stream. There's a variable that can get stuck that basically says whether the game is running or not, whether there's an active word scramble. And if I end the stream at the wrong point, it just sort of stays on. I think I added a little script to my closing that I hopefully will clear out that variable when I close stream regardless. So hopefully that won't be a problem in the future now. Good with all that lettuce. We need to chop some lettuce. Garlic for with the peas. Rust on that outer leaf. Get rid of that. Wednesday's salad was pretty good, but it could have used more lettuce. Like, that was a good concept. I think that's a winner of a... That's something you could put on a restaurant menu. Maybe played it a bit differently and a few modifications, but no, we're not going to use those. Those have been in the fridge long enough. What we got else that we can throw in here? Got that. That. Oh, we got those too. Oh, hey, we already got that dirty tonight. No harm in getting it more dirty. Dope. This one doesn't have the fine side. I need a new box grater, chat. This one has seen its better days, and the silver one, or stainless one that I used to have, didn't survive. I crushed that one off stream. Not intentionally, I just was working with it so forcefully, and whatever side was the loosely connected corner. This one actually solid all the way around, but whichever corner it was that was welded, like, let go. I'm actually surprised that I didn't cut myself when that happened. Oops. Cucumber. Cut them into batten nuts or into chunks that we can then dice. They're all roughly the same size. I only bought the one tomato on purpose yesterday because I didn't want a bunch of tomato around. Or on Wednesday. I think we're pretty much set with our salad. And throw the rest of the arugula in there. And I'll wait on the dressing until everything else is ready. I didn't go through all of them, did I? Boo. Boo. I wanted to have some green olives from my salad, and I don't have any green olives. I've got a can of green olives in with the stuff for Can to Be Delicious, but I'm not going to pull that out. Okay, peas. Let's take a glance at these, see what we're looking at here. It can at least use that. Let's see how close we're getting in temp. Oh, no, we're not even close. Not even close. Better than I thought, but we're still not there. See how we're doing on this one. This one's even a little bit larger. Ooh, this one's doing better, so maybe it was a better spot in the oven. It rose a bit more. The dough, I think, saw a bit more heat. Ignore this number. This is just setting for an alarm. That's the number that you want to be interested in. So this one's pretty much there. This one needs a bit more. I think they both need a bit more for color. I don't know what's got my nose going. My nose is running. I don't know where it's running to, but it's running. Excuse me. I walk over in this corner as if the camera's not going to follow me into that corner. It used to be that I could duck into that corner and the cameras that stayed in place didn't see me over there. Okay, what else do we need to do with these? We're doing peas. Peas. Using up the last of this stick of butter. Garlic in there. I think I am going to do dried thyme and celery salt with our peas. And garlic. And butter. Let that butter slowly melt. Nah, I forgot the arugula. Oh well. Couple homemade pickles. Couple of banana peppers. I'm on a banana pepper kick, chat. Folks. Peoples. So that just gets dressing to finish. And we're going to give these pies another 5 minutes. That's why I turned the heat off on this. We're not quite there with it. We're going to pull the pies out and then we'll finish the peas. Keep needing to... There's a couple art shows in town that I need to go and see before they're done. I'm not a huge, gotta go see art shows and stuff kind of guy, but there was one that recently that caught my eye. There's all sorts of art. There's some art that's questionably art. There's art that the CIA endorsed and funded to, show freedom versus communists. I forget his Pollock. Stuff like that. Take a look at the color here with 2.5 to go. See if I think that's gonna be enough or not. We're gonna crank the heat up on this 425. And we're gonna go to ads, unfortunately. That was horribly timed. So I set the timer 5 minutes. I'll see all your lovely faces back in 3. I should use this scene more often. I don't use this scene enough. Alright, turn the heat back on our butter and garlic here. We'll get that butter and garlic back up, heating up and sizzling. And we'll add our thyme and our frozen peas. And we'll finish it with the celery salt. And regular salt and pepper. Salt. Dried thyme. And we have pies. Pepper. Heat off. Celery salt. Wish I had some shallot instead of the garlic for that. I think this is going to be the winner for dinner tonight. This one, I want this one to set. and rest. That one definitely had a bit more stretch, and this is cracked here and here. It's got me worried it's not going to hold up as well structurally. Additionally, it sort of sagged considerably more around the sides than this one, which means it's going to be a lot harder to unmold. So it's going to be better if I allow that at least to cool down to room temp before I try and unmold that one. But considering this one was already over 160 before, I'm not too concerned with the temp on the meat. I was trying to get more color on the crust, and egg would definitely have helped this considerably, and I didn't put any egg on those. But it is what it is. What I especially love about this is looking at this liquid that's on the tray, on the parchment. There is a little question in my mind that these are going to gel beautifully. Come on, there we go. But that liquid there, the way that it's already drying and gelling, it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Hey, how it's all... Yeah, it's already gelatinized, basically. Oh, it's delicious. Okay, I need to do this more often. These I can taste the mushrooms in just that little bit that I had. Yeah, that's pretty phenomenal. The filling on this is going to be fabulous. Relatively certain. Oh, that's something I didn't think of until just now. I could have maybe done a gravy with these too, but I think these are going to be plenty tasty on their own. Let's see if I can risk opening this thing. That looks like a win right there, chat.
I think we nailed that. I think I nailed that. I nailed that, chat. I nailed that, folks. Peoples. Yeah, I might get something else dirty. Ah! Damn it. No one saw nothing. You didn't see that. Garlicky peas. I'm just going to throw them all in there.
What you think, chat? Did you get a passing grade? I'm like the flavor that I got just off of that pan. I'm very happy for this dinner tonight. And since I already broke that one side and we got a photo of it all together nicely, let's show chat what we actually got here. Let's show everybody watching.
Lots of cognac in there. That's all going together nicely. I don't know if any of those photos on the inside turn out looking alright or not, but
Very happy with how this is looking. Like, you could almost pick that up. The crust is a little too soft for that, too crumbly for it, but almost. I think that turned out great. Gonna be doing slow cooked pork on Sunday. We got those 3 large hunks of shoulder meat from the pig that I butchered a week or two weeks ago. We're gonna take one of those 3 out. We're gonna do a low and slow cook on that Sunday. A little bit of a longer Sunday stream because that's gonna take probably at least 3 hours to break down nicely in the oven. And I don't know what else I'm going to do with that, but we're going to be doing some slow-cooked pork shoulder. So I hope you come back to join me for Sunday. We got Can It Be Done, or Can It Be Delicious, on Monday. So, canned mystery basket, chat voting on which cans I have to use. There will be seafood in this one. We have the 2 cans of fish. There might be a 3rd one, maybe. I'm going to add some packets. I'm not going to say what type of packet they are, because I don't know what kind they are. I haven't bought them yet. Yeah. Let's see who we can share the love with tonight. I think I'm going to leave it right there, folks. All sorts of people online tonight, but I don't know. I'm not Mr. Raider. Thank you so much for joining in with me tonight. Like I said, I'll be back here on Sunday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Go have some fun. Good night.